Yep. Yep, it's recorded. Okay. So let's try this. All right. Hello, my name's John. I'm a senior contributor for 8 Asians, and I'm here with actor Hudson Yang, along with his dad, Jeff Yang, columnist for the Wall Street Journal. And if you haven't heard, Hudson is going to be starring in the new ABC comedy series Fresh Off the Boat, based off of Eddie Huang's memoir, a noted chef and restaurateur in New York City, I believe. So, welcome. And first I wanted to ask Eddie, how did you get into acting?
Well, I was watching TV with my dad, and then I was like, "Oh, cool! That sounds really cool." And I was like, "Dad, I want to act." And he was like, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah, okay.
And the next day, he was like, "Okay, if you really want to act, there's an audition you can go to." And I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah." And so when I went there, I auditioned and I got really far. And he was like, "Oh, you have real talent." And so we went out to get an agent, and it worked. And so after the agent, they told us that, "Oh, there's this role, Fresh Off the Boat, main character." Well, no, actually, I went out for the middle character, Emmerich. And then Eddie saw me audition for Emmerich, and he was like, "Man, no, I want it to be me." And I told my dad that, and it was like, so then I auditioned for Eddie, and they said, "Yeah," and then they said, "I think he's good," and yeah.
The rest is history, the future.
And so, what did you, when you found out the news that your son had won this role, what did that mean to you? And could you put some historical context as to just Fresh Off the Boat relative to, the TV landscape of the past 20 plus years?
You mean the desert wasteland that Asian Americans have been wandering through? 20 years ago, almost exactly 20 years ago last year, when they were first actually making Fresh Off the Boat into a series. 20 years ago, we had All American Girl, the first ever primetime television series about an Asian American family on network TV. And I know that time and that show pretty intimately because I was the TV critic for the Village Voice at the time. And I saw how that show played out, the kind of hope and yearning and anticipation that Asian Americans had for that show, and the disappointment we had both when it actually aired and was less than successful, and then ultimately was canceled. But I don't think anybody, myself included, and as a TV critic, I have to admit I gave it a pretty harsh review. None of us anticipated that would lead to 2 decades in which essentially there was a complete blackout of Asian Americans on television. At least Asian American families at the very center of a sitcom like this. So when this show came along, I mean, I'd heard about it long before Hudson had even the acting sparkle in his eye. I'd gotten a kind of early leak of the script. I thought, this is really amazing. This is a very, very different look at Asian America. It's subversive. It is unabashedly out there and in your face. This is maybe what we need as a community to kind of crack open that dam. Of course, I never had any imagination that my son would end up being at the center of this thing.
It's karma because I'm so awesome.
Well, when I saw you post the news on Facebook, I was like, wow, did you're writing a column for the Wall Street Journal. Did that help influence them at all, or was it just like a blind, like you were saying, karma, just an alignment of the stars?
Because I was so awesome, God was like, "You are so awesome. I give you this," and I was like, "Okay," and then I got it.
Yeah, and the humility, that was really helpful.
Well, it's so funny because I literally have just met your son Hudson. I saw the screener about a week or so ago, so it's like, oh, how alike and similar and dissimilar are you and Eddie? Because I've read most of the book, and I'm just like, oh wow, Eddie's really into hip hop, and he is definitely not your stereotypical minority. No Ivy Leaguer studying to be a doctor or lawyer or.
Well, he
was a lawyer.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, he rebelled against that as opposed to the stereotypical image. So it's just really remarkable to see. Your son is an 11-year-old kid, and he is a kid, but on the screen, or just he's like you were saying in another interview I was watching, you've got a lot of swagger, and you're talking about this hip hop and all that stuff, and just like it seems like you're almost, destined to be an actor.
Of course I was.
I think, so I had really very little to do with his getting this role. It really is all him. He's a...
Yes, because I am amazing.
Well, no, he does have kind of a natural flair for this, and I'm glad he's doing it, because I think more Asian American kids need to be encouraged to embrace different pursuits. I mean, as a journalist, I've seen a lot of pressure to not be a journalist from my family over my career.
Yeah, because they don't think you're good to be a good journalist.
No, well, I mean, I'm a good journalist.
You
but,
are?
But I think they would have thought I would have had an easier life if I...
Sure, a doctor, lawyer,
right.
engineer.
Well, because everybody in our family is basically doctors. Like mom, grandpa, your sister, and a ton of other people that I probably don't know.
Yeah. But that's why I think it's important to encourage talented kids like Hudson to pursue their dreams.
So it seems like ABC's been really going on this multicultural event with Blackish, which is currently my favorite news show on ABC,
Well,
and I find it hilarious. Oh yeah. So like when I was waiting to hear like you guys coming on for the second half of the 2014-2015 series, it's like I can't wait, especially seeing that like Randall Park is like in it, because like I've been following his career along, and he's like a really great actor, especially really good in comedic / physical comedy
That's
roles.
very
So
true. That is
I mean,
very
he's just like
He's a national treasure.
yeah. Well, he's a national security
Well, risk.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that one of the really amazing things about this show is that it has done such a fantastic job of casting each of these parts. And Randall obviously was...
The best choice ever.
No, he really was. He was the core of the initial development of this. They had him before they even began casting anybody else. But then Constance Wu is an incredible funny. She's a breakout star. Hudson, obviously, who knew, right? And
I am a
he's
breakout star.
He's a breakout star too.
Well, who knows? You could be more famous than Jeremy Lin in a couple of
we'll see.
couple of months. You never know. I mean,
We're still represented for Jalen Sevens. But yeah, and Hudson's brothers are great too. Forrest Wheeler and Ian Chen play Emery and Evan. This is a cast, I think, that is unlike any that you will have seen on sitcom television. It's new faces and veterans and an incredible writing staff, which is incredibly diverse, and they're committed to telling a story that I think is authentic and a little bit raw and a little bit real, and funny as heck. And that's, I think, really what matters.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think we've discussed this back and forth online in terms of, it's really important to be funny first.
Right, exactly.
To capture the audience, then you can explore a lot of themes and stuff. So just maybe one last question. I mean, what's been the biggest surprise now that you said you wanted to be an actor, now that you are an actor on this big network show? Anything surprise you, and what have you liked or not liked about, or what have been some of the challenges?
Actually, everything surprised me, because when I became an actor, I thought maybe I'd just do a few things and then I'd go back to my normal life. But then when I saw myself on screen, I'm like, that's not me. Because I never expected that I would go this far to get something as big as this. And that really surprised me was when I saw the first cut of the pilot, and I was amazed about how good I was. No.
How good everybody was, right? I mean,
Yes, totally.
We're really. I mean, I'm amazed to just be sitting in the dark watching you on a monitor, and seeing on this journey. But I have to admit, to me, this feels historic. This feels like it's a pivot point for Asian America. Great that my son is in the middle of it, but even if he weren't, this would be something that I would be looking forward to with bated breath.
No, I think it's. I'm really excited to see the show premiere and see how it does. I've seen the screener and I've seen a lot of the promotion around the show, especially all the billboards that you keep on posting on Facebook and Twitter. So it's just really exciting to see, someone that I know and have read about in regards to this show, and have read the book to just finally see something like this out on television. So thanks a lot for your time, and definitely look forward to future successes.
Just the beginning, right?
Right. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Peace!
I hope that was good.
All right. Time check is 20.